and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video, I would like to talk about BTS's Tomorrow, focusing on a little breakdown and analysis of the lyrics and the meaning behind the song, and what the Socratic Method has to do with all of that. Tomorrow is a very underrated track that deals with the feeling of hopelessness young people feel when thinking about the future, and the importance to keep going despite your difficulties. The song opens with Suga reflecting on how powerless you can feel when you fall into a routine you don't actually like. When you are a kid, you think you can accomplish anything, but as you become an adult, you gradually lose that confidence and fall into a loop that you feel trapped in. Whether you get into a dead-end job or you are unable to get one in the first place, this feeling is something that many people experience, especially when they are in their 20s. At this point of your life, there is usually a shift between dreaming about something and actually working for that dream to come true. But this change is often made difficult by the lack of control you have over your life and ambitions. This is because the real world is ruthless and you can get lost in it, because you become part of a system that doesn't really care about your aspirations. Suga here compares this feeling to a computer keyboard. When you get to the point of your life where the pressure of the real world keeps you from achieving your dreams, it feels like the control bit of your life is always in the process of being downloaded. This means that you lack the control you need in order to get the metaphorical keyboard to work. So you get stuck into a routine where instead of controlling your life, you actually copy and paste it in a constant repetition of events. This is obviously a source of stress, disappointment, and frustration. You feel like screaming, but nobody is listening to you because the only sound that comes back is your own echo. When you get to this point, most people feel hopeless and only wish for better days to come. But in the song, the boys encourage you to keep going because you are strong enough to break this loop. Even if it's hard, even if your dreams break down and you break down with them, something good may come out of this change, and you should keep going without ever turning back. What you are experiencing right now may be the darkest moment of your life, but just like the night is darkest before dawn, better days are around the corner. As the lyrics say, you're just taking a break. The loop you are trapped in is just a temporary stop that does not affect the success of your journey, and this is why you should not give up. Instead of focusing on the struggle you're experiencing right now, you should think about it as something that actually helped you become the person that you want to be. And when you finally succeed, you should remember this moment as part of the journey that led you there. In the second verse, RM talks about time as a cycle where past, present, and future merge together as we live through it. This concept is very similar to the one that BTS presented in their performance at the Mama 2019. But in the song, RM uses the cyclical nature of time as a way to voice people's mental state when they are in a moment of struggle. In the lyrics, he wonders what's the point to keep going if the future will someday become past. He questions why he keeps going in circles and why instead of being happy and strong, he's getting weaker instead. This is a great way to represent what goes through people's minds when they're stuck in a routine they hate. RM here is expressing the doubts of our generation. He is defining the difficulties and concerns of people going through hardships. And even if his verse seems a little bit bleak, I think that in this context it is completely intentional. What BTS are doing here is quite similar to the Socratic Method, which is a technique used by Greek philosopher Socrates employed to stimulate critical thinking in the listener instead of straight up explaining the point as fact. The Socratic Method is a thinking process based on dialogue and divided in several steps, some of which we can find in the song. The dialogues usually start with a student or acquaintance of Socrates describing an issue. Socrates then decides whether it is legit or not, and spoiler alert, most of the times it's not, and then proceeds to make a statement about it meant to gain the trust of his listener. At this point, he begins to explain his view on the matter, posing questions and demonstrating the validity of the other person's view. By the end, however, he manages to turn the argument around, thus demonstrating that the other person is wrong by offering the real solution to the problem. This method is as convoluted as it is effective, and if you look closely, something similar happens in the song as well. In Sugar's verse, we learn what the problem is, the issue and topic of discussion. In the pre-chorus, we learn the perspective of the listener and their thesis, that is, that we should hope for better days to come. In Aram's lines, instead, he validates people's struggles and expresses the wrong way to approach the problem by posing rhetorical questions that make us think about it. And in Jacob's verse, we finally get to the real solution, which was already foreshadowed by the chorus. This is a healthy way to change our mindset because they don't force a solution on the listener right away. Their approach implies that they know what they are talking about and that they understand where you are coming from. So when we finally get to the point of the song, the answer they provide feels natural and therefore easier to embrace. This approach seems to be confirmed by Jacob's verse as well, which acknowledges what has been said until now and offers the final solution to people's struggles. In his lines, J-Hope says that the only way to actually break this loop is to keep going, to keep walking and not give up, because you are too young and you've seen too much to waste your time on worries. He then validates people's hopes by stating that the light will eventually come to end the night, but right at the end he offers the real solution, which is agency. In order to break the loop, you should not just hope for better days, but actually become an active agent of your life, because that's the only way to turn your hope into a reality. As you can see, this statement contradicts both the thesis stated in the pre-chorus and Aram's verse. But in doing so, J-Hope actually provides the answer you were looking for all along, while still respecting your struggle and acknowledging your difficulties. So that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please think about liking and subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.